Hello everyone, we are going to do this one called Scalers. It's similar kind of to what we did on the last one with Hedgie, is that it's a pattern that has I can't think, overlapping. Wow, that didn't come out good. Pattern that has overlapping sections, and I just looked up at the Hedgie that I finished just a moment ago, and I just realized that I did not complete these sections. See, I have the extra lines around everything, and then over here I don't. I only have it in the middle. Oh well, it is what it is. That's interesting. I've done it two different ways. Okay, I had looked up at it to form that thought in my head about overlapping, and just noticed that, and it distracted me. Anyways, so let's look at how it goes. Look at her cute little bunny she's got in her sample. And then she's got this little fellow with just the eyes. That's so cute. First thing we're going to do is draw a pencil grid. Remember, the green on these are always pencil. So we'll just do a pencil grid. And then inside the pencil grid, we're going to do from this corner about over here, about halfway, with kind of a curvy line. Not super curvy, but not ramrod straight either. Just kind of a little soft curve coming down to about halfway or so, maybe a little bit over halfway. They can be not, they don't have to be exact. And then we're going to come back the other way from that same upper corner this way. So from the upper corner down. So that makes this sort of scale-like pattern. And then we're going to make this one so that it makes it look like a box. Now we need this little line here, right? And then we need this little line in here, and you can fill that in. Okay? And then on a that's the end of it. And as a variation, you could then do an aura around the inside, which I will probably do. I'm thinking of playing with it in different scales, different shapes, maybe different grids, so that not just a square grid, but a rectangular grid, or I don't know. I'm losing my words today. I just am. They're just, I think they're gone. A non-standard grid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my light. First thing, watch your eyes. And then I'm going to get a piece of paper. Let's do a rectangle. So we're going to have this sort of brownish color, because that's what I have in a rectangle. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you see the whole page. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw myself a border. And it's not going to be a straight border. It's just going to be kind of a wavy border. I think that's good. Cut the corner too much there. Okay, so I got myself a wavy border. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? There you go. And then I think I'm going to try maybe 3 or 4 different versions of this pattern. let's see, we want to do a regular grid and then maybe a rectangle. Let's do it. I'm gonna divide this page into quarters. Yeah. In each one of these sections, I'm going to put a different variation on that same pattern. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's make ourselves a border. And I'm going to use a great big fat pen for that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and I'm going to make my wavy border. Something like that. And then I'm going to make sections. I don't want them to touch. Okay, so now I've made myself some sections. Now I can make myself some grids. I'm going to, in this one, make a standard square grid. So I'm just going to draw myself some straight-ish lines. Like that. Okay, can you guys see that? I know it's hard on this. Some of the colors of papers are harder to see on than others. So that one's going to be a regular straight grid. Then this one's going to be a rectangle grid. So I'm still going to go this way. So that it's kind of similar to that one over there. But instead of doing squares, I'm going to do these further apart so that they make a rectangle. Do you see that? And then on this one, I'm going to do kind of follow the border. That I did. Do a wavy grid. Let's do this wavy grid toward the middle. This way. Like that. Can you guys see that? And then this one, let's do a curvy grid. So let's do curves going this way. And linear lines coming out from there. Like that. Okay, so I've got 4 different kinds of grids. I made these a little darker so you could see them. These ones are kind of light, but this is a regular square grid, a rectangular grid, a wavy grid, and a kind of circular grid. And now I'm going to put the pattern in each section. Let's start with the square one. And then I aim them all toward the middle. So I'm going to draw, as I'm drawing, this is my body over here. Not that way, this way. So I'm going to draw all of them toward this center section based on the pattern, okay? So let's do step 1 on the squares. A light curve from the corner. Something like that. Something like that. Zoom you in a little bit. Can you guys see I think you can see. And then going this way. So we're going to go this way. Like so. Something like that. Right? Something like that. Then the next step is to finish this square off by going this way. Like that. Okay. And then we do this one, which fills in this direction. So this should look like that and that. Goes that way. Like so. Right? Right? And then we fill in this bit in black, which I could have just done to start with. And when I do the next one, I probably will. It's not a hard pattern now, is it? At least not as a square. We'll see what happens if I change shapes, if it gets more complicated to figure out. It may or may not. I don't really know. That's why I'm playing. So I'm thinking to myself, what if I don't do it in a square grid? What if I do it in a different color type of grid? What does it do? How does it look different? And then we can do that variation. You could do the aura around it. You could do dots around it. You could do stripes. Do all sorts of things once you have this base pattern filled in. And I'm going to start with the base patterns and then see what I feel like doing, or if I want to just leave them. Goodness. I maybe picked too big of a page, so this is going to take me longer than I want, but that's okay. How's the new camera angle? Can you even tell that I've got a new camera angle? Has it made it worse, better? No difference? I don't know that it really has changed a lot. But it's made it easier for me to get the camera on and off the boom arm that I've got it on. So that's good. All right, let's do the rectangle. I think that's going to be the next easiest one. I'm still going to go toward this direction. But I've got a much longer line going this way. Like that. Step one, and then back to step two, which was this way. And up there you wouldn't see any of that. Like so. And then step three goes this direction. Right, missed one. Feels like it's missing something. It is. It's missing that. Okay. And then step 4 puts this part, and then you might as well fill the whole thing in to start with. Rather than doing, so I'm kind of combining step 4 and 5 together. Let's see, let's see if there's a new question. Question O today. If you could have composed any single piece of music that already exists, which would you choose? That kind of, it's an interesting way to phrase that question, because it basically is asking what's your favorite song. I mean, really, kind of, that's what it's asking, right? Carol of the Bells. Do 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 do. I am not a good singer, but maybe you will recognize it. I think it's an old song. Carol of the Bells. I don't remember who wrote it. I want to say Pasha Bell. Yeah, let's see. Let's Google that. Who wrote Carol of the Bells?
Carol of the Bells was composed by Miko Leonovich.
Miko Leonovich. In 1914. It's a song based on a Ukrainian folk chant. That's interesting. I didn't know that. But it is one of my absolute favorite songs. One of my favorites. Now, it's not a song that you sing, or necessarily, but, and it says it's a Christmas carol, but I don't necessarily think that it's only Christmas. That's the tune I have for my ringtone on my phone. That looks so totally different from that, doesn't it? Interesting. Interesting what a rectangle does. Let's see what a wavy one does. Now this one might not, I don't know if you're going to see the wave. That's the thing. Because you don't really follow any of the lines. It's just the intersections. And I'm not sure that you're going to actually see the wave, but we'll see what happens. Maybe you will, because these will all go on different planes, so maybe you will still see the wave. Yeah, you'll probably see it. But see how you can change a pattern by just following with a different kind of grid? Okay, so now they go this way, right? Goes. Now that we've done a few of them, it's easier to remember how the pattern goes without having to look at the step out, which is awesome. I like when I can get to that point. from over here somewhere, and this one would have one coming from way over here somewhere, as with this one. Like that. And then they go this way, right? Some of these are going to be closer to each other than others based on this really long arch. Okay, and then this would probably have one here. Like that. And this one goes here. I would have one like that. Right? Yes. I think I've got them all. And then the little dark bits. I'm going to start in the middle because it's where I feel like I would see it better. See the shape, and then I'll move outward. But they're all going to be different shapes, so you are going to see the changing of the shape based on where in the grid that is. They're all different shapes. Interesting. Let's go up a little bit more with that one. Oop. Oop, oop, oop. That was supposed to be in here. Ha. We're just going to color that whole thing in. We've started binge watching on YouTube. These guys, oh, now what are they called? Foxes Afloat? I believe it's Foxes Afloat. Two guys in the UK that have, if you start with number 1, they're on vlog number 100 and something. But we started with number 1, working our way up. We're now at vlog number 90 something. I don't know. It's taken us a week to get up there. Most of their vlogs are anywhere from 12 to 20 minutes. They're not uber long. But we're following them on a narrow boat in the UK channels. I didn't even know that there was such a waterway system in the UK. Very fascinating. We have nothing like that in the United States. Absolutely nothing. And it just fascinates me. It's so pretty. The countryside in the UK is so pretty. I forget how brown and dry the area is where I live. Look at that, how that's so different. Wow. I love that. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that's what we're watching lately. And if you want to watch, I would recommend it. We're having fun. About there, about there, about there. Okay. Each grid needs a oh fudge. I need to not go into the corner. Oh fudge. Oh fudge, oh fudge, oh fudge. Okay, those two over there are going to be not quite right. Just as I was saying, I need to think better more because each grid is slightly different as you go through, and then I did those two wrong. Oh well. Let's you color in most of that, so I'm going to do this and see if I can't fix that. Fix it in post. There is no post. As you come down here, they're going to get closer and closer together. Don't know if I can do this last bit because they all come to a point. But we're going to give it a try. What the heck? Okay. That middle part, I may have to just color it in. Okay, so then these go this way. Yeah. Right, right. So that would come from here. Gotta think again. Each time you change your grid, you gotta think what you're doing. Like that, right? I think so. Okay, so then this goes this way. I don't know what to do up there. I think it comes this way. I think. I don't know, I may have done that part wrong. I'm thinking hard, you can tell. I've gotten quiet. Okay. This I don't like, but we'll have to figure it out. I missed one over here. Are you yelling at me? Go ahead and let these go all the way over to here, even though they don't quite, it's not quite right with the pattern, but I'm gonna have to do something with these ones because I've goofed up those two at this other end. So in order to make things match, I'm gonna have to do something with them, but I'm not sure what yet. Probably should have used a smaller pen down there in that little corner. Right. This one would have gotten, there's a line missing here, like that. No, there's not. That's this one. Oh, Dawn. These ones over here in the corner are just a mess. Just a mess. Oh well. We'll figure something out to make it look right. Right? Yep. So we will. Okay, so let's zoom out. See what they all look like going the different directions. So there's the one with the regular square. Oops, too far out. There's the regular square. There's the rectangle. There's the wonky grid. I really like the wonky grid. And there's the curvy grid. Not as much fond of the curvy grid, but I really like the wonky one. Now let's figure out what we can do with this one to make it all fit in. I'm going to do this. Like that. And just make a really thick shadow on this side. Oh, that didn't get filled in. That's okay. Let's just make a really thick shadow on this side. that fixing it? I think so. Just thinking if this is working or not. I think it's working. I think it's done its job to kind of blend those in a little bit so that they're not quite as obvious. They're still pretty obvious, but they're not quite as obvious. That kind of worked. Look at that. Huh? Who knew? I'm missing the shadow here. Alrighty. I like that. I'm going to leave them not with any other embellishments, I think. I am going to erase all my guidelines. Then I think I'm going to come in here with a little shading and maybe a little highlights. Ooh, I don't like, I drew way too, see, I drew these dark enough so you guys could see those lines, and it makes it hard to erase. These aren't so bad. These two on this side aren't so bad because I didn't draw them so that you could really see them, but these curvy ones, I really drew a lot darker. But it should blend in once I get the shadows in. Oh, it's at 43 minutes. I may have to do this in 2 bunches in order to finish, because I really want to finish. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually make this into a really long video. I don't really like the long videos, but I'm going to have to do that because I want to do it 100%. So let me make a note. Long vid 2 parts, so that I remember to edit them together, because I usually don't edit. So we're going to stop right here. I'm going to pause. You're not going to see anything different. And then I'm going to start back up again so that I can do my shading and my highlighting, because that's going to take a minute. All right. All right, back. I do not want that 6B pencil. It's way too soft. Let's do just the B. I feel like there's a line missing there. There is a line missing there. It should go this way. Okay, I'm going to start with the square one, and I'm going to put the shading where it overlaps. So it's going to be here, here, and along here, right? Here and along there. Along here and along here. That one's on top. This one on the right is on top of these ones on the left. You'll note I don't put a lot of graphite. I just put a little bit. I'm not super precious as to where I put it, because it's all going to get blended anyways. Just make sure that they're all the same. They're getting the same shadows in the same place. On the side and where that tip is. On the point of that tip and up around this side. Like that. Get some on there along this side. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with this divider thing yet. I may color it in, maybe. I don't know. Haven't decided. Blending stump. Turn it around this way so I don't get it all over my hands. And blend out those shadows. Blending makes all the difference in the world. Look at the difference between that and that. Major difference. Some people are afraid to do dark enough shading. Make sure you get at least dark right in the corners, the creases. If I haven't got enough in here, I can come back, put more. But you want to, if you don't have enough shading, you don't get the depth that you need. Oops, I missed a spot. So if you're not going to shade deep enough, then I wouldn't shade at all. Because you really want that contrast. And when you're on a colored paper like this, especially a mid-tone color paper like this, you can then also do what I'm going to do here next, which is, I forgot to do these tips here, which is to put the highlights as well. Pretty much all that just gets tucked back into the shadows right there along the edge. See? See how that makes a big difference. And now I'm going to take my white pencil and highlight along this edge. See what that does? That's amazing. Little white pencil, a little shading, and then leave that paper color, the orange or brown, whatever this is, sort of a browny orange, terracotta color. Leave that as the mid-tone. Then you have highlights, you have shadow, really pops. Look at that. That's amazing. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, how do I want to do this one? This one clearly is all of this. And this. I don't want to get it too muddy down here in the bottom. this edge. And then it's like that, right? Right, so it goes along here and along that peak and valley. I've already got it really quite dark because of the way I've already put the black. So it not going to need a lot of pencil, but I need some. Give it that depth. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one and do a lot of shading. A lot of highlight. Like that. These ones I'm going to be a little bit less precise with, I think. Make sure it all gets smudged though. That, and then some highlight to really highlight, make them a little more pointy, like really indicate that bright spot of sunshine, like so. On these ones they're kind of more at the tip. Maybe the light is moving a little bit as we go across. It becomes more on this side. But still emphasizing this more pointy of a tip kind of a thing. Like that. And then this is just kind of, there's a little bit in here, but it's really quite dark in there. Okay, now these ones. So these ones are going to get more, you'll see more of this long line right here. Yep, I think that'll be good. I want to get a little bit of shading where whatever this is kind of overlaps everything. It's kind of on top. I'm not sure what this X is, but and then I don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet. But it's casting a shadow. So should we do another question? Sure, why not? Let's do one more question. If you were invited to join one current musical group, which group would you want to be a member of, and what instrument would you play? I am not musical. So, in this fantasy question, I would have to assume that I was talented in music. We're going to start with that assumption. I would want to be I think I'd want to be in the Piano Guys. And play the piano. I really like the Piano Guys. I like the Piano Guys. I like Pentatonics. I like Big Fish. I like if you're talking about instrumental and what instrument I would want to play, I would say piano in the Piano Guys. I love the Piano Guys. I think they're great. See how all of these give a different vibe? This is cool to see the different nature of these. Even though I'm doing them all the same, I'm choosing to put shadows in the same place based on the overlaps. They all get it on this side of the shape, and then up and over this peak. But each one is slightly different, and this is fascinating to me. I am so glad I did this like this, and I'm sorry this has become such a long video. You want to fast forward to the end, feel free. All I'm doing at this point is just coloring in and doing shading and highlights, but they're all going to end up so different. And like I said, you could embellish these too. Add lines or stripes or whatever you want. But this is looking awesome. I still don't know what I'm going to do with this X part. Maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. I'm not done yet. Maybe I'll put just a slight bit of brighter orange on it so that it stands out. Pops up off the page, because the dark recedes and the light comes forward. But I don't want to put white on it. I think that's too much. But maybe if I put a little pop of actual orange on there. I think that might be good. I think for these ones, the light's not going to be right up on the edge. All the other ones, I did the light right on the edge. I think for these ones, I'm going to make the light here, the highest point, right like here. And just kind of go this way with it. Not quite at the edge. Does that look weird? Kind of. I may get a blending stump and blend that. Don't usually do that with white. I feel like more of a wet stone look. And not all the way to the edge. Well, let me get a blending stump that's not colored full of graphite. Let me get one of these ones that's in my bag that I haven't used yet, so that it's go. And just kind of soften that white. It's not so stark. So it's a highlight, but it's not a bright highlight like the other ones. It just softens it just a little bit. Those are all different. And I do think I want orange. Where's my colored pencils? Oh, over here. They're not where they belong. I didn't put them away. For shame. Still want that edge bright, but I don't want it white. So we're going to go with orange. I'm starting to get hot. Of course I am, because I've made such a long dang video. And let's use this color, because I have not used this color hardly at all. And we're gonna just brighten up this X part just a little bit. Just so that it's standing on top and not blending into the background. But I don't want it like super bright either. Just a little bit. That? Yeah, that's good. Maybe it has a couple of shiny spots where it's a little bit brighter. Okay, now to decide how it's going to live, because I like all of the different directions and I don't know which one I want to have at the top. Let me just look at it in the camera. Not that way. It's either going to live that way or this way. I think I want it this way. Yeah, I think I want it that way. Okay. So, I need to sign it. I need to put the name, which, Scalers. Now you guys can see all the different ways that it can look different just be by the way you've changed the grid. I think this was a good learning time. I think we've learned a lot of things together, and I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate you hanging in for such a long video, almost an hour and a half. That is way too long, but you know, I know you're not going to sit through the whole thing. It's okay. You can skip through, just land at the end. I'm good with that. I am totally fine. Some people would not be fine. I'm fine. I don't care about the YouTube algorithm. Doesn't bother me. I do want to say that somewhere along the way, YouTube is going to change some things, and they're going to start rolling mid video ads without my consent. I'm trying to keep them turned off, but they're defaulting to turning them on, and I have to just keep being on top of it. And I'm going to try my best for that not to happen, and you won't even notice. But I really don't like the mid-roll ads. They annoy me. So if I get mid-roll ads, just let me know, and I'll try my best to keep them turned off. Anyway, you guys have a great day. This has been a very, very long video. I will see you on the next video, which we are going to do is X apostrophe D. That's going to be the next one. Hopefully it's a small one, because I'm really quite done for the day. I've been out here a long time. All right, you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.